Picturesque day at Bailey Brayton Field for some Cougar baseball as it's been pushed east. Some weather out in Seattle going to force this series to Pullman, and the folks here on the Palouse, they're not going to complain about it. Welcome into this beautiful renovated Bailey Brayton Field. We're glad to have you with us for Pac-12 Plus baseball today. And Washington State, they've had quite a road to get to this point. The Cougars offensively, you can tell they've been playing really good baseball. These numbers ranking amongst the top in the conference for Coach Brian Green and the Cougs. Really doing a great job at the plate. Kyle Manzardo, he's a big reason why. Last year, a third-team All-American member. Preseason select that same team this year. And if he has anything to say about it, he's going to finish a bit higher. You see his numbers from a year ago in the shortened COVID season. And he's a guy that the Cougs will really lean on at the plate throughout this three-game series. You can see what he did a week ago against Dixie State. 3 homers in the series, 11 runs driven in, an impressive grand slam, and that 25-game hit streak. On the other side for Seattle U, Gavin Rourke. He's been leading the offensive charge for the Red Hawks. They're an impressive bunch out of the whack. We'll see the Cougars and the Red Hawks coming up in just a few minutes here on Pac-12 Plus.
Let the games begin.
Welcome into Bailey Brayton Field. Washington State and Seattle U getting ready to tangle up for a 3-game weekend set. We're glad to have you all with us as a nice day in Pullman altogether. Not necessarily what you always expect come March, but near 60-degree weather. Really great day for baseball, and that moved the series over here from a rainy Western Washington as the Cougs get a little home surprise after 8 games coming back here to Pullman. They face off against Seattle U. Here's the Red Hawks lineup this afternoon for Game 1 of the series. The challenge for Seattle U is going to be getting the average up against some good Washington State pitching. So far, the Red Hawks in 7 games only batting .191 as a team. So they'll be facing off against a tough right-hander to get things started on this weekend series, and that's Zane Mills. Mills coming off a 13 strikeout performance at Dixie State. And those 13 punch-outs tied a modern era record for Washington State. That's aluminum bat era record for those who are wondering at home. And Zane Mills will definitely be a tough guy for Seattle U to take on as we welcome in Bobby Allworth as well. And Bobby, this pitching staff, that's going to be a big key for the Cougars in this series. The bats have proven they can produce if they can hold Seattle U down. Could be a good weekend for the Cougs.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Trevor. Looking forward to see a step up in competition here against a good Seattle U ball club that took who split a 4-game series at Oregon last weekend. But excited to see the big 6'4" right-hander Zane Mills, who will work in the low to mid 90s throughout the evening. 3-pitch mix, good fastball in the mid 90s, hard slider that will his strikeout pitch, but is also working on the changeup.
Last time we were here at Bailey Brayton Field, right before the world really changed, and it's nice to be back in Pullman as Mills' first pitch starts the Cougars out with a strike at home this season. WSU coming in 7-1. It's Gavin Rourke to lead it off for the Red Hawks. One of the things we've seen from Seattle U over the years is they've been able to hang tight with some Pac-12 competition, and a great example a weekend ago, splitting a series against the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, always excited to see a good non-conference contest, usually midweek action against Seattle U against the Northwest Pac-12 schools, but good test this weekend for the Cougs.
First time these two teams have met in a 3-game series in quite some time. Chopper is going to be played here by Clifford, and he'll get it to Manzardo in time for the first out.
Yeah, nice play by Clifford. The first 2 weekends were played on grass and dirt, the old-fashioned grass and dirt. So the Cougs back at home for the first time, and the ground isn't frozen. There's no snow. So nice play by Clifford to read the bouncing ball on the turf and get the speedy leadoff man.
I was about to say, forecast today called for the warmest day since early November in Pullman, and certainly a treat to get upper 50s, maybe touch low 60s a little ways into this ball game for an early season Cougar baseball game. That's not always the case. But very comfortable day in Pullman with the high overcast skies. This is Connor O'Brien, the first baseman for the Redhawks. And you love to see this right away. Zane Mills working ahead of each of the first two batters.
And I think Coug fans and maybe Seattle U fans will love it for a while, but Mills is on there ready to go. Great tempo, probably the best tempo on this Cougar team so far.
Right-hander who tossed 7 innings a weekend ago for the 0-2. Lined it short right at Colden for out number 2.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much of the plate right there from Mills. The slider a little bit over the white. A nice solid hit by the Redhawks, but 2 quick outs by Zane Mills, and I think that's what the Cougars want.
Yep, O'Brien got a nice swing on that, but it's a chance for 1-2-3 top half for Zane Mills. Justin Mazzone, the catcher, in for the Redhawks. And another first pitch strike. Mills, along with the fantastic outing last time out, as part of a season-opening victory against UC Davis. He's had a couple winning decisions already this year. Just missed on the outside half of the plate.
I like how good start to Zane. I know he's missed those last 2 pitches, but everything is right around the plate, down in the zone. Good start to his day.
Cougars have a little shift on the right side with Clifford playing into shallow right field. And Mazzone works his way ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Seattle U looking to earn its first base runner. They'll take it anywhere they can with the average as a team below 200 to start the year, but a fouled-off pitch will take us full.
Yeah, I think Zane might have got away with their one early right there. The first 4 pitches were outside half of the plate, and that one he challenged them inside, and big man Justin Mazzone just missed that one.
We'll talk about the cheerleaders back in Bailey Brayton Field. They won't get rise here as it's through under the glove of Clifford. And the first hit of the ball game belongs to the Redhawks' Justin Mazzone, the catcher.
Yeah, nice challenge pitch by Zane Mills there. 3-2 count. You make him down in the zone. You challenge him, make him hit the ball to hit his way on base. And nice, pretty swing there by Mazzone for a 2-out knock for the Redhawks.
And there the math didn't work out for Washington State. Clifford was playing to the hole a bit more on the shift. If he was back at his normal spot, probably a easy one hopper and then throw over to first. But good job hitting around the shift for Mazzone. Here's Julian Kodama.
Yeah, that may be something to keep a watch over this weekend. We're in week 3 of the season, so that's 20, 25 at bats for a lot of these guys, and some scouting reports are being passed around the country.
Mills set. He's out of the stretch for the first time today, and for the first time really falling behind a batter. 2 balls, no strikes to Kodama. Redhawks have started the year 4-3. All their games played to this point in the state of Oregon. They were on the road at Portland and then against the Ducks, and winners of their last 2. Nice to see Mills get back into the count with a strike there.
Yeah, this will be part of the fun to watch. I mean, last year we got just a sneak peek of Zane Mills as a Friday night starter, before things got shut down, first weekend of Pac-12 play. How does he respond in situations? And this will be a good test here.
The junior has it lined into left field by Kodama. Another base hit for Seattle U, and the Redhawks a little 2-out cooking here in the first inning.
Yeah, it looks like, back-to-back at-bats, a little too much of the plate. And good hitters. Again, we talked about this. It's a step up in competition, facing a little bit better hitters than he had the last 2 weeks against a good Seattle U team. And a pair of 2-out hits now, first and second for the Redhawks, and early opportunity for Seattle U.
Yeah, this is a team, Bobby, you were alluding to it. They grind. I mean, really good ball club coached by Donnie Harrell in his 12th season as Mills works ahead with a strike to Matt Boysenall.
And also part of the fun is Brian Green and his coaching staff was at New Mexico State for the 5 years prior to last year, so
That's
very
right.
familiar with the Redhawks.
No stranger at all. And the breaking pitch gets Boysenal 0-2, and Mills still on the hunt for his first strikeout. We mentioned there's a group of students here. They call themselves the cheerleaders. That's because they give a chant that's give them the chair, saying send a guy back to the bench. And that kind of established under Brian Green last year, and they made the pass list today. And they'll get some cheers here to end the first inning. A strikeout of Matt Boysenal on the breaking ball. And the Cougars get out of the first unscathed. Zane Mills, a couple two-out singles. It'll be the Cougs coming to the plate next here on Pac-12 Plus. All right, Cougs and Redhawks. Bottom of the first inning we go after Zane Mills worked out at the top half with a strikeout. See the Cougar dugout there, debuting some new icy white home uniforms. Let's look at the batting order for Washington State. And this club, Bobby, they're slugging it, that's for sure. The Cougars as a team hitting over 300.
Yeah, a lot of pop in this lineup with the return of, that was a nice benefit of the draft being cut down to 5 rounds. You don't lose a guy like Colin Montez or you get a grad transfer in Tristan Peterson, who was an All-American in New Mexico State 2 years ago. Those guys are now wearing crimson and gray, or icy white.
Icy white today for the first time, and it's got nice reflective crimson fonts. First pitch from Alex Jamal, a little too high to Cody Colden, the Cougar shortstop. And we'll give you Jamal's numbers in a second. He'll have his hands full today, especially if he falls behind Cougar hitters. It's 2-0 to Cody Colden. For Jamal this season, you can see his numbers. Seattle U as a team, one of the hallmarks against Oregon, a 1.82 staff ERA against the Ducks. And that helped him turn this series after falling in a 2-0 hole. Gets his count back to even with the Cougar shortstop.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to talk about Cody Colden, but after a rough opening weekend, how about the weekend he had last week at Dixie State?
Yeah, he had a fantastic weekend.
Hit 647, 11 hits, 8 runs, 12 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases.
Stat sheet stuffer.
Yeah, how about this line on Friday night? The Friday night win at Dixie State. Went 5 for 5, reached base in all 7 plate appearances, scored 4 times, drove in 6, hit a 3-run homer, walked, hit by pitch, and stole a base. So he reached base in 13 straight plate appearances the other night.
And he'll wear one here for the Cougars in the first. No, they're going to say he leaned into it. Cougars do not like it, and Bobby, kind of a funny storyline that's developed in Washington State athletics coaching culture is Kyle Smith, head coach of the basketball team, he loves hit by pitch.
Right.
And he's made it known in his press conferences.
And so that's the new rule.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the new rules that they can call out a strike. It's not a dead ball situation this year. It is a strike and strike out.
So the first K for Alex Jamal, a little unconventional. But he'll get the job done for out number 1. Saw Brian Green out of the dugout. Didn't necessarily like the call as Kyle Manzardo, hottest hitter for the Cougs, one of the hottest hitters in the country, comes to the plate.
Yeah, Trevor, I think I saw some stuff in that opening weekend, those big tournaments down in Texas, that there was many discussions, on-field discussions between the umpires and head coaches.
Manzardo gets a piece of this to center, and it's a nice catch by Rourke out in center field, just backpedaling onto the track. Manzardo just missed that, but nice to see him with the great contact on the line drive deep to center.
Yeah, first at bat, second pitch you see of the weekend, and you hammer one 399 feet away to dead center. I'd say you'll take that from your preseason All-American.
A nice play by Gavin Rourke in center. He's joined by Kyle Sherrick in left and Matt Boysenal in right. But degree of difficulty, tougher than Rourke made it look here in the first inning. Here's Tristan Peterson for the Cougars. It'll take 2 pitches to get ahead of Alex Jamal. So far this year, a win and a loss for Jamal in 11 2/3 innings coming in. He had given up 6 earned runs, struck out 7, and walked 1.
part of the fun, one of the benefits for Coug fans to, actually see baseball in person, but also their first look at Tristan Peterson in crimson and gray or white, but looks good from the 2019 All-American.
Takes a drive to right field. This is going to bring back Boysenald. He turns with it. It's over his head. Here comes extra bases for Peterson right on cue, and his first Bailey Brayton hit is for extra bases.
The very first fall scrimmage I had an opportunity to come out and see, he homered to right field his first at bat. So I think he likes it here. I think Coug fans are going to like him. He came into the week tied for the Pac-12 lead in doubles, and a good start to the weekend for him.
This is a big get for Brian Green. Recruiting nowadays isn't all what you can pull from the high school ranks. It's guys you can get in on transfers, and Peterson, a graduate student, an All-American at New Mexico State. That was the guy Brian Green wanted to bring to the Palouse. Here's Colin Montez, the right fielder. Wastes no time swinging at the first pitch, but Jamal passes it on by. It's a big opportunity here. Runner in scoring position in the first with 2 outs for the Cougars, try to get something done. And Montez batting .407 to start this young season. Ball and a strike to Montez. Another experienced player for the Cougars, a senior. He's got an even count here in this first inning. Jamal trying to keep it clean in the first. Foul ball down towards the new baseball complex. She hit a light post, saves the complex from its first dent. It's a beautiful facility, and this is the grand opening of Bailey Brayton Field with the new gate entrance on the left field side and that new complex that the guys are getting to show off. Cougs need some 2-strike hitting. And it's even to Montez on a good take. Some of the fans who didn't make the players and coaches pass list out on the hill out in left center field up by the Student Rec Center. It's still 2-2 to Montez. People getting creative in these COVID times to catch some Cougar athletics. It's nice to see baseball back here at home.
Here's another veteran bat that got going last weekend. Dixie State, Colin Montez with 3 home runs, including a multi-home run game last Saturday. So big left-handed bat, hopefully heating up.
He's got a couple hits already this year with runners in scoring position. Chance for another. Right on cue into right field. Going to score Peterson, and the RBI single puts Washington State ahead 1-0.
Yeah, pretty 2-strike approach by Montez. The power-hitting left-hander cut down his swing, covered a lot of the plate, hung in there on the off-speed, and hung in there just enough to get the solid contact, pulled into right field, and let Tristan Peterson race around for the early Cougar lead.
For Colin Montez, becomes his 7th run driven in this year. Already his 12th hit. Top 4 in this order, really produced early on for the Cougars. Already providing a total of 56 hits this year, those top 4. We see Justin Vandenbrink fouling it off to start his at-bat. It'll be interesting to watch Justin in this series. This is a series for the senior that could be a get-right series. Against Dixie State, Bobby hit a lot of good ones. Kind of line drives right at guys. Pitch going to get past the catcher, Mazzone. And up to second base goes Montez. So it'll be another runner in scoring position for Washington State. A little bit of tough luck a weekend ago, Brian Green said it for Justin Vandenbrake. Had some hard hit balls right at guys. He's a former JUCO All-American at Tacoma Community College where he hit nearly 400. And had a 25-game hitting streak that Kyle Manzardo knows a thing or two about for the Cougars. He lined out deep to center in his first at-bat today. 2-1 to Vandenbrake, 1 run already home on a Colin Montez RBI single to right field. So is at-bat number 30 for Vandenbrake. 5 hits this season so far. Trying to get it right. Lines it off behind the plate, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flipping it to the mound for Alex Jamal. This is now a big spot in the first inning. After allowing a free base on the pitch past his catcher, Justin Mazzone, chance to get out of this with just 1 run home, and that would be huge going to the second. Don't want to fall in a big hole against this dominant Cougar offense. Vandenbrake, another hard hit ball, but this scooped up by Lively, and that'll get Seattle U out of the first inning. Damage done in the form of 1 run for Washington State. RBI single for Colin Montez as we head to the second. 1-0 Cougars here on Pac-12+. Bailey Brayton Field, very limited attendance. Those guys happy, cheerleaders. First strikeout for Zane Mills came at the end of the first inning. Boy, it looks like the game's been up there, Bobby. They've got little plastic lawn chairs. I mean, it's an iconic brand now for these guys. Student section here at Bailey Brayton Field. That's about 5 deep, and strike 1 to Austin Lively recorded the final out of the Cougar first.
Yeah, not their first time. I think they've had 9 months waiting, 9 months planning.
Tapper out in front of the plate. Myers got to make a nice throw here and does.
Wow, nice play by the athletic, the big man, Jake Meyer, 6'2", a long and lanky catcher, and bounces out there, got rid of the mass, and always a tricky hop when it's right in front of the home plate. You know, what kind of spin, is it going to take a bad hop on the seam? But nice play by Jake to get the first out.
Now the redshirt junior out of Arizona, Brian Green really has been commenting that his catching has been a nice part of the success of this battery. Chase Wells, the DH for Seattle U.
Yeah, I think the Cougars, their focus in the offseason was to bring in a couple catchers. They probably brought in some talented newcomers to challenge Jake Meyer, who it was his job last year, but maybe to challenge him, keep him moving forward. And Coach had some questions about the catching going into the opening weekend, but Jake had a solid weekend at the plate at UC Davis, and hit a big 3-run home run last week at Dixie State, and obviously working well with Zane.
You'll catch a theme when we're talking about the Cougars today. A lot of guys have a story of a home run this year. This team, no shortage of the deep ball. But a couple guys tried to get a hold of ones in the first inning, and Kyle Manzardo, Tristan Peters. Easy play over at first for Manzardo. He'll take it himself. And a quick 2 outs for Zane Mills here in the second inning.
I know that's a simple play, ground out to first baseman race over, but 2 years ago, 18 months ago, I'm not sure Manzo makes that, but that's, he's continued to develop in all aspects of his game. He was just a designated hitter his freshman year. They didn't feel solid enough, comfortable enough with him in the defense, but I think becoming one of the better defensive first basemen in the league.
He's been ranked as one of the best first basemen in the country, period, as Trevor Anderson, the shortstop for Seattle U, takes strike 1.
Yeah, D1Baseball.com, ranks all the positions, like the top 50 per position coming into the year. The Cougs had 2 at first base. Manzardo at number 7. And then Tristan Peterson, I believe, at 13, 16?
That sounds right.
But nice work by Manzardo. Just the simple play is now a simple play. So nice work by the junior.
Mills trying to end the second the way he did the first, but missed to Anderson, a ball and 2 strikes. He's up there in strikeouts. Needs just 6 Ks today to move into top 3 in college baseball in this young season. And there's number 2 right on cue. Again, gets a Red Hawk swinging. Antonson chasing the slider away, and the Cougars have held Seattle U scoreless through 2. Red Hawks back to the mound after this on Pac-12+. 1-0 Washington State lead. Cougars back to the plate for the second inning. This is game 1 of a 3-game weekend series between the Cougars and the Red Hawks. First time these two teams have met for a weekend set, or a true 3-game series, not a midweeker, since the 90s. Jake Meyer, the catcher, to start it off for Washington State. And it's fitting, Bobby, in a year where we'll see a lot of adjustments by coaching staffs and teams. They were able to just move this game over from originally scheduled to be in Bellevue to Pullman. Line drive down the right field line. Gets past the diving Boysenal. Extra bases for Meyer, and the catcher going to be able to get into third. No, the throw gets him on the cut down. I was saying he's rumbling around second, Bobby, and we mentioned big athlete in the top half of the inning, but Seattle U, nice play out of right field to get that in for the out.
Yeah, very nice defensive play by the Seattle U right fielder. Makes a diving attempt by Boysenal and quickly gets it up to the infield and makes a beautiful relay throw. You know it's a catcher, but that throw was right on the money. Nice defensive play by the Red Hawks to get out number 1.
Stayed with it, and the old adage, you hate to make the first or the last out on a play like that, but Cougars getting aggressive here in the bottom half of the second. Jack Smith, the third baseman for the Cougars at the plate, and this is the 7th spot of the order. 2 hits, a double for Tristan Peterson in his home debut, and an RBI single for Colin Montez in the first. Got Washington State a 1-0 lead. Check swing turns into strike 2.
Yeah, Jack Smith, a name that Cougar fans are very familiar with now in his 4th season with the Cougs. A senior from Mercer Island, and kind of done a little bit more each year, and so he's part of the leadership council this year. And so coaching staff and this program looking for a big year out of Jack Smith, and opened the weekend at UC Davis with the go-ahead 3-run home run in the 9th inning of the game 2 of that doubleheader game that was suspended due to darkness on Saturday night. They pick it up on Sunday morning. Jack Smith hit the go-ahead home run.
Mm-hmm. Strike 3 here on the first strikeout for Alex Jamal.
Yeah, nice breaking pitch down in the zone. You can see you got Jack Smith out of his rhythm with the big swing. So that means a perfect location down in the zone. Great pitch by Alex Jamal.
I'll actually put an asterisk on that. I meant strikeout number 2. He got remember kind of the odd one to Cody Colden to start the ball game when he leaned into a pitch. So 2 strikeouts for Jamal. The accurate right-hander, 8 Ks to 1 walk on the year, facing Brady Hill. That's half the battle on the mound. You throw strikes, you stay around the zone, limit the free passes, and you'll be a solid pitcher in college baseball. 2-0 now the count to Hill. Certainly Jamal leading this staff out in the early going. A little bit of a tough luck game week ago. Game 1 of the series against Oregon for Seattle U. Only lost by a run, 4-3. Kept it tight there, and then won games 3 and 4 after night 2 was kind of blip on the radar, a 6-0 Oregon win. Hill was taken all the way as Alex Jamal got back into the count, 3-1. So on this nice night in Pullman, we'll see the count go full. Brady Hill for the Cougars, a sophomore from just north of Pullman, up in Spokane. Went to Mount Spokane High School and patrolling center field for the Cougs to open the series. We'll take a walk, and it'll be a 2-out base runner for Brian Green's club.
Yeah, nice approach by Brady Hill there. Obviously, takes the first 3 pitches to go down 3-0, but 2 good aggressive swing there with 1 strike, but the discipline to take the walk. Nice play by the sophomore from Spokane, who kind of took over the center field duties late in the last couple weeks of the shortened season last year. But another player looking for a big year for the Cougs in 2021.
Preston Clifford here, the 9-hitter for the Cougars. We're going to be the first time through the order for Washington State. Check on first. Alex Jamal, that's a bit of a rarity on the walk to Brady Hill. Just his second free pass of the season, as we mentioned, and his third game pitch so far. Came in the top 5 in the conference. It's the WAC in innings pitched. Bottom of the order is a key this year, an emphasis for the Cougar coaching staff. They said if they can get the bottom of the order competitive and turn it around, they really believe this offense has a chance to be something special. So far, bottom part of the order is delivered in the first 2 series of the season. It's a ball and a strike to Clifford.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of Brady Hill, and we saw what he could do as the leadoff man last year. So he can do a variety of things and hit for power and hit for speed, but he's also well on the bases and could put him in action here. Even with 2 outs, but Preston Clifford, one of the Cougars' better situational hitters, can do a lot of things, can do the hit and run, can do the push bunt, can do the drag bunt, and good athletes here at the bottom of the lineup for the Cougs.
They've got eyes on Hill. He might have intention of his first stolen base attempt of the year. There he goes. It's high, the throw's on the money, and Hill's gone. That caps his second. Nice toss from Justin Mazzone out to second base. And that ends 2 innings with Washington State leading Seattle U 1-0 here on Pac-12 Plus. We got a good ball game through 2 innings, 1-0 Washington State leading Seattle U. Redhawks 9 spot of their order. Kyle Sherrick, the left fielder. This is going to be a tough play for Colden on the slow chopper, and it's beat out by Sherrick. Infield single for the left fielder.
Yeah, tough break for Mills, who makes a nice pitch down the zone, gets the ground ball, but the high chopper slows down, and the soft part of the infield turf, and Cody Colton, who was playing back on the play, had to come a long ways, and Redhawks had a leadoff man on.
This turf's just a couple years old, and how far it's come in turf technology, it's pretty amazing. They've been able to engineer it so the infield plays a different speed than the outfield. Pretty cool stuff to make a really nice playing surface here in an area of the country where the weather is not always predictable. Top of the order, Gavin Rourke, who grounded out to second in his first at-bat. Enters this series with a 10-game hitting streak dating back to March of last year. And a team best for Seattle U, 4 multi-hit games. Corners in against Rourke, protecting a bunt and a check on first. Cougars know the Redhawks might be content to play a little small ball here and try to get a man into scoring position.
Yeah, I think if you're the Redhawks, this is just how you want to start the second time through your lineup. The 9-hole beats out an infield single, now brings up your hottest hitter.
Runner takes off. Good throw, but it's a little high, and underneath the tag is Sherrick for the stolen base. They looked a little more on the money originally, and it kind of floated at the end on Myers' toss to second.
Yeah, Myers' throw just a little high, and Redhawks slide in safely under the tag and man in scoring position. So a number of options here now for Jack Smith's playing at third base. Can't creep in too far, but also a big hole on the left side.
And a bunt laid down. It's foul. Seattle U trying to see if they could get not really a bunt, just move a runner, but that's looking for an infield single. After Sherrick was already aboard on the chopper, he's in scoring position with a stolen base. And the first big pressure against Zane Mills on this evening for the Cougars. Fresh off a 1-2-3 inning and had to get out of a first and second spot in the first with 2 outs. Strikes his man out the letters. Nice fastball there right at the letters for out number 1.
I think a great spot, great location. It looks like Jake Meyer was asking for it up there, try to get up right at the belt, maybe flirting with just above the zone, but close enough with 2 strikes. Nice pitch by Zane and a big out.
I think Gavin Rourke felt like with the start to his season, maybe he had earned a call there. But both of these guys at the top of their games, Mills and Rourke, and Mills won the battle that time. 1 out, still man at second, Connor O'Brien for Seattle U. Really nice command of the zone for Zane Mills here early. Kind of felt like he's been able to do whatever he wants with his pitches. He's been hitting corners. Nice breaking ball to change speeds. And there, saw the runner creeping off, nearly had him.
Yeah, I think that's probably another thing that Zane didn't get a lot of experience these first couple of weeks. Not a lot of guys got on base against him. And so now you're getting all kinds of different situations. Here's some early pressure. You're facing the 2-hole in the lineup at the man on second base, scoring position.
And just dotted it outside.
You got to keep him close at second base. A guy who already stole a base, so he's probably looking to steal another one, but you also have to deliver a pitch to get a good hitter out.
The senior O'Brien trying to get it going, and this would be a good spot as a chance to tie it for Seattle U here in the top of the 3rd. Instead, Mills will have a chance for back-to-back punch-outs. Already 3 strikeouts. We mentioned he needs 6 to pull into the top 3 in college baseball entering today. The leader is out of Oregon State. Kevin Abel, 26. 2-strike offering. Runner goes as well. It's high. Nice throw from Meyer. Tags there, you bet. He says, fool me once, okay, but I'll get you second time, and Sherrick's caught stealing.
It looked like he got a great jump, but the pitch was on the inside half to the right-hander and kind of took Jake Meyer up out of his stance. And so on the move, it was momentum heading right to third base, and he made a beautiful throw. Jack Smith hung in there. Nice little collision at third base, but big out for the Cougs. Nice play by, I'm sorry, Trev. Nice play by Jake Meyer to kind of bounce back after, maybe not the best throw to allow the guy to steal second base, but there he is and coming up big for Zane right there with an out.
And that's what we were talking about, how big the catching is. That play could be really big for the Cougars here in the early innings in terms of saving a run. Oh, and Mills was ready to walk off the mound. But it's full to O'Brien, 3-2. He thought that fastball was for sure strikeout number 4.
Right, when all 4 infielders, the catcher and the pitcher and maybe even the batter, were kind of
it looked like O'Brien was
that
a
one.
step
Even
to
Brady
the
Hill in
dugout.
center field saw it.
This at-bat will stay alive. Nice at-bat here for O'Brien. He's worked it to 8th pitch coming up.
But it's also that time of day where, the shadows from the press box are kind of covering home plate. So there's a little shadow. The line of the shadows halfway between home plate and the mound. So a brief.
It'll be affecting everybody. Tough play for Colton, and that's a nice base hit on a 3-2 count for O'Brien.
Maybe you lose the ball for a split second, but a nice piece of hitting by Seattle U to keep the inning going.
That's the underrated part of the shadows here at Bailey Brayton. They set up in a way that it's tough for the outfielders, too. These innings can be tricky at this time of day in Pullman. But a 2-out base runner for the Redhawks, and that runner caught stealing hurts here in the 3rd. Wouldn't have necessarily scored a runner on the last play with how hard that was hitting to left, but there would have been a chance. Justin Mazzone, the catcher, takes ball 1.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he would have scored right away, but it would have been an interesting challenge. But worst case for the Redhawks, you'd have first and third with 1 out, and your leading RBI man at the plate.
Good sign so far for Seattle U. 4 hits here in these first 3 innings, and we told you that the offense was struggling a bit coming in. But they've done a nice job against an experienced right-hander in Zane Mills. He's just had the upper hand in getting out of tough spots. That's a calling card for your Friday night starter. You want them to be nails when the going gets tough. A nice stop behind the plate for Meyer.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation. A lot of traffic, busy innings so far, a lot going on, but no runs for the Red Hawks. But can Zane finish this off for the Cougars?
He's done it in the first 2 innings with a punch out. And he'll earn himself a chance here in inning number 3. Two and two. Runner on first. One man already raced on a caught stealing here in the inning. It's the catcher on the other side for Seattle U, Mazzone. Fouls one straight back.
Yeah, another good challenge pitch by Zane Mills on the inner half, and Mazzone with the big hack, and I think he got a piece of Meyer on the backswing.
A friendly fire there between catchers. Regardless of what Mazzone does at the plate, here we saw him end the last inning, catching a Coug stealing at second on a nice throw. Both catchers playing some nice defense here in the early series action. Mills 2-2. That's on past Meyer.
Well, they said he went.
They said he went around. Chance for a throw to first. Meyer didn't see it. I think Meyer thought that was on pass. Maybe didn't know he had to play at first.
Yeah, that looks like that's a miscommunication by the Cougars. Maybe Zane Mills, probably the Cougar defense, also probably a little bit of the Cougar dugout that Jake Meyer usually would come up firing there. Yeah, nice break for the Red Hawks. Mazzone struck out on a check swing, but still gets down to first base, and Seattle U with another threat.
So he'll strike out and make it to first. Kodama, the third baseman, at the plate. And another first and second spot with 2 outs. Mills in the early going, no stranger to pitching with runners in scoring position.
One more look back at the ball that gets away from Meyer. That's probably that's also one of those things you work on in team defense. Well, there hasn't been a lot of time for work on team defense in practice.
Liner into right center. This should park a run for the Red Hawks. Maybe a chance for 2. We'll see a holdup at third. RBI single with 2 outs for Julian Kodama. And we're all even at 1.
Yeah, nice job of battling by the Red Hawks, and Kodama hangs in there, pulls the slider into the right center field for a RBI single to 2 outs, and even things up. I think he kind of beat the Cougar shift. I think Brady Hill was playing over, the center fielder was playing over in left center, and a big gap in right center field. And 2 out knock evens things up.
Yeah, his 7th and 8th hits of the year. He's already 2 for 2 on the day, and none bigger than tying it up there. So Matt Boysenald, who struck out in the first, chance to get some payback. Mills gets ahead. That was the first strikeout for Zane Mills back in the first inning. But Boysenald, the junior from Western Washington, a utility man who can play catcher, infield, outfield, chopper at Colden, won't have a chance for a shortcut, has to take the long throw, and gets the dart there ahead of Boysenald. That'll limit it for Seattle U to just a run, but the Red Hawks even it up on an RBI single from Julian Kodama. We go to the bottom of the third, all tied on Pac-12 Plus. One all after the Red Hawks even it in the top half of the third. Back at Bailey Brayton Field. Take a look at that upcoming schedule for the Cougars. We mentioned the series this weekend, and don't let it fool you. You'll see the next 4 after this one against Seattle U. There are 2 next week, as the Cougars will have an interesting one going west. They'll play at Husky Ballpark against Seattle U, then a doubleheader Seattle U, UW, and then the Huskies. And those will all be non-conference games, by the way. So we're at the top of the Cougar order. Cody Colden taking strike 1. But a bit of a surprise for the Cougars to be home this weekend, but they'll take it.
Absolutely. first 6 weeks scheduled to be on the road, first 24 games. Now we'll take a 3-game home series against a good team from across the state.
And the 0-2 pitch, a little too high to Colden. And nice of Seattle U to move it on over here. They've got a nice park in Bellevue, and it's got some natural surface to it. The 1-2 pitch, cut on and miss. There's no strikeout for Alex Jamal, his third.
Nice like sorry, Trevor. Like Alex Jamal's kind of settled in here after ran into some trouble against Tristan Peterson and Colin Montez in the first, but he's settled in here the last 5 or 6 hitters.
Yeah, now he's coming back to that part of the order. And excuse me, I was one off on my scorecard last at bat. That was actually Preston Clifford striking out. So now we'll see Cody Colden. Check swing says yes, he did go.
We've already seen a number of check swings by both teams. That's facing good pitching on both sides, but also I think the sun and the shadows, that time of day, a little bit of funky for those hitters.
And you can see it there nicely on your screen how Jamal stands in the sun, and then those shadows cast in probably 5-6 feet in front of the hill. This will be the test now for Jamal, top of the Cougar order, and we mentioned how well these first 4 hitters in this order, as it stands today, have been hitting. But gets ahead of Colden, a ball and 2 strikes. To already have close to 60 hits from these 4 guys in the first 2 series and a couple innings of series number 3, that's pretty phenomenal. Jamal looking for back-to-back punch-outs. Got it, taking Colden up the ladder. 2 men swinging, a little bit of swagger now for Jamal, who get a little bit of juice from his Red Hawk hitters who already have 5 hits and even things up in the top half of the frame.
Yeah, absolutely, carrying that offensive momentum they had in the top half of the inning, and he's executing his pitches, working up in the zone. Nice job with 2 strikes and put it in a perfect spot. Nice job by Jamal.
Manzardo swinging at the first pitch, and I wanted to give Kyle a chance to swing at that first before I said if Jamal does to Manzardo what he did to the first 2 batters here in this inning, this is going to feel like a really great inning for the right-hander. Mm-hmm. Manzardo can definitely swing it. Already 16 hits on the year, and he hit a ball about as well as you can at Bailey Brayton Field in the first inning and have it result in an out. A loud out in the first to the warning track in dead center. Hits a high drive to left. It's got a little bit of late carry. It's going, and it's out of here. Kyle Manzardo with the home run. And that thing just got up there into the jet stream and kept flying all the way over the left field fence for Manzardo's 5th home run of the season, and he puts the Cougars back in front.
Pretty swing by the preseason All-American, now extending his hit streak to 26 games with another home run. All 3 home runs he hit last week at Dixie State were opposite field, from left field and left center. And we saw the first swing to dead center. He didn't miss on that one, driven the other way to left field. Pretty swing by the All-American Kyle Manzardo.
I love when you can look down, and amongst the limited spectators, there's a few scouts here, and I saw a lot of iPhones pop out after that. Texting their comrades, letting them know about Kyle Manzardo with his 5th home run opposite way, and a 2-1 Cougar lead in the 3rd. And even counted a ball and a strike to Tristan Peterson. He had a nice double back in the first inning over the head of the right fielder Boysenalt, and one hopped it right off of John Olerud's number 18 on the right field fence. But Kyle Manzardo, as Bobby said, it was his 26th consecutive game dating to the final game of 2019 with a hit. That puts him 2 away from tying the Washington State record. And not a lot of drama in it, getting it done in the 3rd inning today. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tristan Peterson.
I think we'll take that. I'm happy with that. If he gets it over with a home run in the 3rd inning, that's good.
Had 5 home runs his first 2 years with the Cougs and has 5 in his first 3 series of 2021. Granted, he would have had many more home runs last season had it been a full year. 3-2 to Tristan Peterson.
Yeah, Manzardo off to an unbelievable start, hitting .435 and then leading the conference in hits and batting average and runs scored, all to be cut short right before conference play. But he's keeping it going, and big bat for the Cougs.
Payoff pitch. It's going to get out of play. Tristan Peterson, we mentioned it earlier, grad transfer in for Washington State. And had Kyle Manzardo not been cemented at first, probably would have been the no-brainer. Sole first baseman for the Cougars, but a good problem to have if you're Washington State. It's another payoff pitch. And a third strikeout in the inning. Alex Jamal just wishes he could get rid of the solo shot for Kyle Manzardo, but his 5th home run of the year puts the Cougars ahead in this one, 2-1 on Pac-12+. 2-1 Washington State lead. The Cougars just saw a home run from Kyle Manzardo in the 3rd. Both teams scoring in the 3rd inning. We've got a nice Friday night baseball game on our hands here in Pac-12+. Austin Lively, Chase Wells, Trevor Anderson due up for Seattle U in the 4th. A liner foul, and nice job to get out of the way down the 3rd baseline by the Red Hawk coach. Not sure it's a masked coach down the line. Not sure if it's Donnie Harrell or not. Ball and a strike to Austin Lively now. Zane Mills' next offering. And misses to Lively. Lively was the first batter in a 1-2-3 second for Zane. CLU got back with some 2-out hitting in the 3rd, an RBI single from Julian Kodema. And not many 3-1 counts in this ballgame for Mills, but here he is in the 4th. Trying to avoid a leadoff base runner. Does get strike 2. That's a nice pitch. Fastball right at the knees. See if we can grab another strikeout. Line drive, left field. Moving to his left, Van de break, and he'll play it off his left side with no problem.
Nice job by Zane Mills. This is what you want from your ace. This is a bounce-back inning here after a long 3rd inning, and maybe didn't execute how he wanted to finish off some hitters that allowed that 3rd inning to keep on going, but falls behind early, but makes 2 quality pitches. Let your defense run a ball down.
Yeah, he had a 22-pitch 3rd, as you mentioned, after a 1-2-3 second. So he'd love a quick inning here with Chase Wells, the DH, lining to the same spot and left. Van de break, well practiced for this one, and he's got it for out number 2, almost a carbon copy. And he'll take that for sure. 1 pitch, 1 out, 2 gone now in the inning for Seattle U. Mills looking over to his dugout to get the pitch. Facing Trevor Anderson, the shortstop, and goes with a breaking ball that swung on and missed. Mills, if he keeps that pitch count down, he can definitely go deep into a ball game. Tossed 7 at Dixie State a week ago. Feeling it now ahead 0-2.
Yeah, a lot of life, late life on that 2-seam fastball. Challenging the hitter. Beautiful location. See if he can execute.
He's used both that and the breaking ball for the put away. The dribbler up the middle is a tough play behind second. What a play by Clifford. That's backing up your pitcher. High degree of difficulty, and it gets the Cougars out of the top half of the frame on a 1-2-3 inning for Zane Mills. Tip your cap to the Cougar second baseman as he gets Washington State out of the inning. That's Preston Clifford. We'll go to the home half. Cougars lead 2-1. Those two guys Chuck Bailey, Bobo Brayton, they would be awfully proud of this ballpark. It's beautiful. 2-1 Cougar lead, bottom half of the fourth, and this is the debut of the Back to Omaha project. That's what they call the baseball operations building down the left field line. A $10 million project that was opened up to the club in January. A ball, no strikes as Colin Montez starts off the bottom of the fourth. Bobby, you and I walked through there last night, and that's one heck of a facility.
Yeah, beautiful facility. Pat John and the administration, President Schultz, WSU University and athletics, just great effort. I can't wait for people till they can start coming to games and they get to see this for the first time. It's going to blow people's minds. It's incredible. It's first class. It's on par with anybody else in the Pac-12 conference and along with anybody else in the country. Wait till people get to see this with their own eyes, that Washington State has something special at Bailey Brayton Field.
Developed through private funding, donations to the department. Fly ball into left field. Sherrick's got a beat on it. Center fielder will call him off. It's Rourke to make the catch for out number one. But there's a lot of proud history and tradition in this Washington State program, and it goes all the way back to, I think Bobo, the story was, went to Western Washington to pick up field lights and bring them out to Pullman for the first time as he worked on then the old ballpark, and it's come a long way in Pullman.
Yeah, those alums are the Bobo's boys that helped build up this program, and those World Series teams. Those are the people that they're going to love seeing this for the first time when they can come here and watch the Cougs take on that team from the West Side or a top-ranked UCLA team, and those teams pull up and they see the Cougar baseball complex right there. It's going to set the tone for a good weekend. It's something to be proud of for a lot of Cougar alums.
It's 0-2 to Justin Vanderbrake, who grounded out back in the first inning, and we'll see how things shake out this year. You can't predict the future. We've learned that over the last 365 days when we sat here a year ago and had no idea how the world would change. But you hope at some point when the fans are back here, they'll get a chance to enjoy those warm, late spring, early summer evenings here and take in that great area down the left field line. It's quite something. No balls, 2 strikes to Justin Vanderbrake.
And the current players appreciate that. From the day they moved in, that first week of January to here we are, the first week of March, that thing is still spotless.
Yeah.
Nothing has touched the ground. They appreciate that, and very special place to call home. I'm glad they get to have a home series here. Get to, right after batting practice, they get to have a place to go inside and change your clothes, put on your uniform, and nice shiny new locker room, and grab a snack and get ready to win a ball game.
The 1-2 to Vanderbrake fouled off, and I'm glad you brought that up, Bobby. I was going to mention that. I think there's a lot of people who know a college kid keeping things clean, probably not the forte, but I was thinking the same thing when we walked through last night. I mean, the locker room was spotless.
Everything spotless in there.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Vanderbrake on nice take on the pitch low. Yeah, the old site of the baseball field, for those who aren't familiar here in Pullman, is right off the north grandstand of Martin Stadium where the track is now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And strike 3, Vanderbrake caught looking by Alex Jamal, and he's had a nice bounce-back inning here in the fourth as well after getting shocked on the solo shot by Kyle Manzardo an inning ago.
Yeah, like Mills, he works with great tempo as well, all around his strike zone, attacks the hitters when he gets ahead. But when he falls behind or the counts in the even count, that he continues to challenge hitters, works his way back, great tempo, a lot of energy on the mound, and keeps his team involved. Been a good game so far.
Jake Meyer does have the double, was tossed out, trying to stretch it to a triple in the second. He'll try to get a little 2-out hitting for Washington State. 4 hits for the Cougars, 5 for the Redhawks. As we sit in inning number 4 and a slim lead for WSU. Nice liner to center, and it's right at Rourke. Little off his left side, but nice beat on that through the shadows in center field in a 1-2-3 inning for Alex Jamal. So the Cougars, 2-1 leaders through 4. We head to the 5th, and the Redhawks will see what they can do next. Line score there through 4 innings in Pullman, a 2-1 Washington State lead. We're glad to have you with us on a nice night in Pullman. Upper 50s at the start of this ball game, and Cougars so far, some hits from the big bats in their lineup. RBI single from Colin Montez in the first, a solo shot for Kyle Manzardo, but for Seattle U, an RBI single in the third from Julian Kodama, and they'll go 9-1-2 in the 5th with Kyle Sherrick, Gavin Rourke, Connor O'Brien due up. So we approach the halfway mark of this ball game. But we mentioned after the inning in the third, Bobby, where Seattle U brought in a run on a 2-out RBI. Zane Mills came right back 1-2-3. And impressively did it on a total of 10 pitches. It was after a labor-intensive third inning. Gets ahead.
Sorry, Trev. That's what you want out of your ace. That's what you want out of your Friday night guy, and both starters. Alex Jamel's doing that for the Redhawks tonight as well, bouncing back after tough innings by attacking hitters, keeping the defense on their toes, keeping the energy up, and both starters working well tonight.
We saw the nice changeup from Mills to get his second strike, looking for another strikeout. Fly ball center field. This will be there for Hill, and he stands under to make the catch. Make it 5 straight retired for Zane Mills now.
It seems like he has that quick tempo is back that we saw those first couple innings by Zane Mills, attacking hitters, getting ahead, getting up there, making a decision and making a pitch and executing that pitch. Another quick out for Zane Mills.
He was mowing guys down. He had 6 of his first 8 retired, and he seems to be back in that sort of rhythm as he faces Gavin Rourke here. Has been a tough out this season, but not for Zane Mills today. He's got him both times. And the Cougar dugout wanted an 0-2 advantage, but Rourke able to hold off on that nice placement on the lower outside edge. Rourke going to see if he can win a battle. Hits it foul down the left field line. There's still plenty of room for Zane Mills to go longer in this ball game. The bullpen pretty quiet down the left field line for the Cougars. It's just 68 pitches so far for Zane Mills. And maybe got his man to go. The appeal says yes. A little bit of anticipation, but now Zane Mills has gotten Rourke in back-to-back at-bats with strikeouts.
Do you give an assist to the cheerleaders right there? was that the crowd getting on the umpire?
AJ Lastaglio was ready to ring it up down the third base line. And
nice challenge, 2-strike pitch by Zane Mills against the Redhawks' best hitter, challenged him and created some confusion in Rourke's mind there for the check swing, but nice job by Mills.
Yeah, that's 5 strikeouts for him now. Hasn't issued a walk. Has given up 5 hits, but he's scattered them today. And you know these guys are just excited to have that little bit of fan gathering behind them. No balls, 2 strikes to O'Brien. A lot of it's friends and family, so that's special to the players here as well. Let's see if Zane Mills can go back-to-back strikeouts and maybe back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. Tried to take it outside on O'Brien, but he'll stay at 0-2. Mentioned it earlier, but 6 strikeouts would take him into the top 3 in college baseball right now in punch-outs. Oregon State's Kevin Abel leads it with 26. There is strikeout number 6. Zane Mills ends the 5th with back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. And we'll head to the home half. Halfway through this ballgame, WSU 2, Seattle U 1. Cougars lead 2-1 over Seattle U, and We've talked about the success on the diamond for Washington State, but how about the GPA in the fall, Bobby? Best for this program, and the guys really responded to Brian Green's call saying, hey, we need to compete in the classroom too, and they've done just that. So you see the tweet there on the screen from that fall GPA. One ball, one strike here in the bottom of the fifth. A double for Jack Smith to start the home half. Now Brady Hill looking to advance that runner or better here in the Cougar fifth. Jamal checking back. Here's the bunt, third base line. This one will be scooped up, and nice toss across the diamond from Kodama. Does its job, though, moves Jack Smith 90 feet to third, and Preston Clifford will have a chance with a man 90 feet away to grow the Cougar lead.
Yeah, pretty bunt, nice play, nice execution by Brady Hill, who had a little bit of trouble with some bunt situations, executions the first 2 weekends, but got it down there, moves Jack Smith over to third base, 1 out, and Seattle U is going to bring the infield in here. A good pitcher's duel going on.
Apologize, we had a bit of an audio issue early part of this inning, but everybody is back with us now. 2-1 Cougars. And a pitch block. Nice stop by the catcher, Mazzone. We were mentioning Peter Kronowski up in the bullpen for Seattle U. They have a left-hander there after a visit earlier in the inning following Jack Smith's double to start the frame. And as Bobby just said, the infield in for the Redhawks, trying to cut down anything that stays on the infield. Good change on Clifford to make it ball and a strike.
Yeah, big situation here for the sophomore out of Arizona and Preston Clifford. But this is a spot that Coach Green and the Cougar coaching staff like in Preston Clifford. Good situational hitter all last year. Let's see what he can do here.
Jamal's at 82 pitches with this offering. And just missed inside to Clifford. The ERA for the Seattle staff in their series against the Ducks was phenomenal. Sub 2, 1.82. And Jamal's 2-1. Bloop shot down the right field line. Has a chance to fall. It does, but foul. And Boysenalt nearly made a diving catch that was reminiscent of his try back in the second.
Yeah, Boysenalt covers a lot of ground out there. He's been busy, but he's made a lot of plays. Nearly made another one.
Would have been quite the catch just across foul territory, but it's 2-2 for Preston Clifford. Certainly would have plated the third run for the Cougars. And Alex Jamal could take a deep breath if he can find out number 2 here. Fouled off. First base line. It's going to get out of play. So we'll try it again at 2-2. Good line so far for Jamal in his 4 1/3 innings. 5 hits, the 2 runs, 6 strikeouts to a walk. Thing that's hurt him is out of the 5 Cougar hits, 4 have gone for extra bases. 2-2 one more time. And we'll have another after this. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up, and the Cougars definitely taking this pitch count towards the end of the line for Jamal.
Yeah, that's a great point, Trevor. Pitch count into the 80s now, or early in the season. Big at-bat here for Clifford.
Like to pay it off with a base knock, but a strikeout as Jamal wins the battle. Another strikeout for Alex Jamal. Give him his 7th. And he's got a chance to tightrope out of the 5th.
He's got a nice little two-seamer that he's gone to a couple times and challenged the Cougar hitters on the inside half with 2 strikes. Some late movement. Really nice execution by Jamal. And one more batter to go.
He's had 1 strikeout in every inning and then struck out the side in the 3rd. Well, a roundabout way that he struck out the side because there was a Kyle Manzardo home run in there. Ball, no strikes to Cody Colden after a nice stop behind the plate by Mazzone.
And another big at-bat here with Cody Colden, who the Cougars' leading hitter last week at Dixie State, hitting over 600. Who can come through here?
So far, Colden's had a tough evening. 2 strikeouts. Gets it through the left side here. Tapper evades the gloves of Kodema and Antonsen, who both gave diving tries to it. And an RBI single for Cody Colden to give the Cougars a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, perfect placement by Cody Colden. Just past the diving third baseman, off the glove of a diving shortstop. When things are going well for the Cougs and Cody Colden, as they were last week, he carried it over and the ball found a hole, and big 2-out RBI for Cody Colden and the Cougs.
Brings up Kyle Manzardo. Home run his last time opposite way to left. And he got a good piece of one in the first on a loud out. But we'll see what the All-American can do here in his 3rd plate appearance. Every time he comes up now, Cougar fans have the expectation that something big will happen. Another check on first. So far, Colden staying put. There's reason to keep an eye on him. He has 4 stolen bases on 5 tries this year. Now a delivery. A nice slider to the outside. Manzardo up to 17 hits on the season. His home run in the third brought his hitting streak over the last 3 seasons to 26 games with that COVID-shortened season last year. 0-1. Manzardo hits it high. It's an airline scraper into center field, but it'll be caught by Rourke, and that does it for the Cougars in the 5th. Big 2-out RBI from Cody Colden puts the Cougars ahead by an extra run. It's now 3-1 Washington State as we head to the 6th. 3-1 Washington State, sun setting on a beautiful night on the Palouse. One of the warmest in eastern Washington since early November. Zane Mills back to work in the Cougars' 6th, starting with a strike to Justin Mazzone, the catcher. Mills pretty economical through his first 5. Came into this inning on 76 pitches. He's given up 5 hits and struck out 6 batters. Mazzone's one of those, but he also had a single back in the first. This time a chopper that's handled by Clifford. And out number 1 in the inning. And Preston Clifford's made some nice plays so far for the Cougars.
Yeah, another one of those high bouncing balls. Probably a benefit of the turf where you can kind of, exactly what it's going to do when it hits that turf rather than if you're playing on dirt or grass the last couple of weeks. It could go anyway. It could speed up. It could stay down. It could get a hard spot. But nice play by Clifford playing on the turf.
You made a good point, Bobby, a couple innings back, though, as Julian Kodema takes strike 1. You were mentioning the lack of time defensively, and Pullman was buried under snow for the better part of February. So it's been a nice defensive effort for Washington State with maybe a little bit of limited practice compared to what they'd like.
Yeah, always tough. You go and open the season on the road down at UC Davis where it's grass and dirt, and you've barely had any practice.
Grounder again at Clifford. He'll be a busy man in the 6th. A little low to Manzardo, but he keeps it off the turf, and it's 2 outs. Another quick inning would be just what Zane Mills would like if he's going to push this to try to go another 7 innings like he did last weekend. Matt Boysenalt, the right fielder now. Dating back to the 3rd after the 2-out RBI single, it's been 7 straight retired. It's the foul ball. Starts the at-bat here with Boysenalt. Should say 9 straight retired, back to the 3rd. Boysenalt started that stretch of batters retired by Zane Mills. Ground out to short his last time up. And off the hands for strike 2. We'll probably see a new pitcher for the Red Hawks in the Cougar half of the 6th. That'll be likely Peter Kronkowski, left-hander. Mills trying to get it there with a K. Just off the outside edge. He thought it was strikeout number 7. Second time today we've seen Mills halfway to the Cougar dugout.
Yeah, I think a little greedy on that one. That was Jake Meyer setting up closer to the left-handed hitter's box.
As I say, that's some good framing. 2-2 now to Boysenalt. Yeah, I thought it was fairly obvious to be a little off the outside edge.
But great execution. That was right where they set up, and
yep,
perfect 0-2 pitch.
Now it's 2-2 to Boysenalt. And he goes after this one, and that's strikeout number 7 for Zane Mills. Great 6 innings for the right-hander. He's got the Cougs in front, 3-1, 10 straight retired. Folks bundling up as the sun sets in Pullman, 3-1 Washington State, and we have a new arm for Seattle U to tell you about. Peter Kronkowski on the hill for the Red Hawks. Trevor Williams, Bobby Allworth with you for this Pac-12 Plus production. Big thanks to our entire crews. They're all doing a fantastic job for us today as well. First of a 3-game set Tristan Peterson, Colin Montez, Justin Vandenbrink, 3-4-5 for the Cougars in the 6th. And welcome to the ball game, Peter Kronkowski. You get to face the heart of the order. A Littleton, Colorado native and a sophomore starts off ahead of Peterson. How about this draw to start against Peterson? I guess the benefit is there's nobody on base, but facing a former All-American. Line drive right at third. Nice catch by Kodama.
I was going to say, Trevor, just before Peterson hits a rocket to third base, but this is the difference that the Cougar lineup we haven't seen for a couple of years. Maybe going back to the Derek Jones, Taylor R days, maybe the P.J. Jones days. Maybe that's too far back. Shout out to P.J. Jones working with the Tigers down in spring training. So, Mr. P.J., can't wait for you guys to come back here for a football weekend and check out this place.
You and I were talking in the break because last time I saw PJs, here's a line drive into center for Colin Montez. Nice one-out base hit for the 4-hole hitter. But last time I saw PJ, he was in Myrtle Beach. I want to know how he always ends up in the beautiful places.
Smart man. So down in Myrtle Beach, but now down in home base is Phoenix right now, and his younger brother Preston doing some damage in the middle of the order for the Oregon State Beavers. But yeah, PJ helped out with Marty Lee's staff for a year or two, and then he got back into pro ball. But one of the many Cougar alums still in pro ball these days, and can't wait to have you guys back and see the Cougar baseball complex.
Vandenbrink, skies one, third base side. It's going to be well out of play. It'll be fun to get all those guys back, and at this point, I think in every sport, it's just we're dreaming of that time when people can flock to public events again. And
right.
I think it's going to be quite something when it all comes back and returns. People are going to be really hungry for some sporting events and to get out and do things. And there'll be no better place in the late spring, early summer, the early spring, heck, at Bailey Brayton Field. Ball and a strike to Justin Vandenbrink. Trying to break out of a little bit of a slump. Just gets ahead of Kronkowski.
Yeah, on to Vandenbrink. Coach Green mentioned it. Brian Green mentioned it in his presser this week that Vanderbrink's number is a little bit down. I think he only had 2 RBIs enter the week, but he hit a number of rockets right at people these first 2 weekends. There we go.
Yep, right on cue through the right side. Wheels on for Montez. He'll go first to third. And the Cougars, nice seeing eye single for Justin Vandenbrink.
Yeah, Vandenbrink, one of the Cougars' leading RBI man last year in the 16-game shortened season. Hit a pair of grand slams in those first couple weeks of the season. Couple tough breaks these first 2 weeks of 2021, but that's also the rest of the lineup has picked it up. So a little bit deeper lineup, but pretty swing by Vandenbrink going the other way, line drive to right field.
Yeah, I was going to say that series against Niagara sticks out from a year ago. I think you and I actually called that, Bobby, and it was quite impressive what Vandenbrink did in that short season in 2020. First pitch swinging for Jake Meyer, the catcher, and popped up at third, high into that tough sky, and caught by Kodama for out number 2. Tougher play than you might give Kodama credit for here in the 6th inning, is that sky is kind of at the perfect shade this time of evening to match up with the baseball.
Yeah, a little twilight action here. The clouds have burnt off, but the sun is setting on the Palouse. Another beautiful evening in Pullman, but Meyer got underneath that one. High pop out, but a big out for the Red Hawks. 2 outs, man on first and third. Coach Green's going to meet with Jack Smith. Maybe draw this out a little bit. Maybe tell Jack, what's the plan? Are we taking a pitch or two here to draw this inning out? Maybe shoot a ball through the right side, but a good offensive timeout by Coach Brian Green with Jack Smith digging in.
Yeah, and one thing we've seen from the Cougar bats in this inning against the new left-hander Peter Kronkowski is they've not been shy. A 2-pitch at bat, a 1-pitch at bat. That was a 1-pitch at bat for the pop out as well. So wouldn't be surprised if, like you were saying, they were kind of talking about, okay, let's have a plan in this at bat and try to slow this down a little bit. But tip your cap to Kronkowski, who's worked ahead once again. And he's had a bit of tough luck this year so far. This is appearance number 4 in 6 innings. There were 4 runs against him, but only 1 came earned. Opponent's only hitting 208 off Kronkowski, so he's done a pretty nice job in this young season. But not here on a base hit for Jack Smith. 3rd hit for the Cougars in the inning. That's going to plate a run and trying to go first to third again, but to no avail. Caught on the slide, Justin Vanderbrake. Run scores for Washington State, and the Cougars stretch it by 1 more. 4-1 as we go to the 7th in Pullman on Pac-12 Plus. How about that shot of Bryan Hall Clock Tower just out in the distance here at Bailey Brayton Field. 4-1 Washington State. Top half of the 7th. It'll still be Zane Mills, the starter, working on 87 pitches. And a 1 pitch out would be welcome here. Pop up to Smith, and he makes the catch for out number 1. That's 11 straight retired now for Zane Mills, who's settled into a really nice groove here in the middle innings.
Yeah, ever since that long 3rd inning where Seattle only, put across 1 run, the tempo has changed, the energy has changed. So was that something that pitching coach Anthony Claggett focused on Zane? Maybe a gentle reminder from him or head coach Brian Green to Zane Mills to get up there, pick with some energy, even with the runner on base. But the energy has picked up these last 3 innings, and Mills has backed it up, and the results show.
Yeah, that was a tough inning, as you mentioned. 22 pitches for Mills, and then he went 10 pitches in the 4th, 13 in the 5th, and 11 in the 6th. So really nice rhythm coming back. And he's filled up the strike zone, 7 strikeouts, hasn't walked a man, and has given up 5 hits, none of which have been for extra bases, and that's helped. Chance for an 8th strikeout. And fouled off. But you love getting that. Some early season confidence for Zane Mills, who's pitched really well. Cemented himself for sure at the front of this rotation on the weekend. And delivers another 1-2. Weak grounder, Clifford charging, then has to wait on the hop, and the throw for out number 2. 12 straight turned down by Zane Mills.
Now Zane through, into the 7th. This is his 6th straight start of 6 innings. That hasn't happened in a while. Maybe back to the Joe Pistorici days.
Yeah.
But a big Friday night guy that eats up innings and sets the tone for the rest of the weekend. But great effort by Zane Mills, who's kind of settled into a Friday ace.
Yeah, if you're a coach, as here we're going to get another 1 pitch out potentially. Colden on the charge and throw, and he gets it there. But to finish the thought, if you're a coach, you love a guy who can eat up these innings on night 1, gives you a lot of flexibility going forward, and the Cougars through 6.5, a 4-1 lead in Pullman. Bailey Brayton Field, a beautiful night for baseball. 4-1 Washington State at the stretch in Pullman. They've seen some nice hitting tonight, lots of extra base hits, and Zane Mills on the mound, phenomenal. He's retired 13 consecutive. I'm not a great prognosticator, but I'll say he's probably done after 7. His pitch count was nearing 100. Cougars on the first pitch, Hill putting down a bunt, and he's tossed down. Nice defense for the Redhawks.
Yeah, nice play by Charnowski getting off the mound against the speedy Brady Hill. Right off the bat, I thought that was the perfect spot, but nice play by Charnowski. A pitcher showing the athleticism and the glove. Always loved the glove flip, and nice play to get out number 1 for the Redhawks and Charnowski.
That's the practice you put in early in the season. Pitcher off the mound, and ball no strikes to Preston Clifford. It's lefty for the Redhawks. RBI single against him in the 6th, but showed some nice stuff. Had batters swinging early in counts. 2-0 the count to Clifford. But for the Cougars, it's been a story of extra base hits, and they've poured on the hits of late. 9 as a team now. Clifford sending one right back up the middle. Nice piece of hitting there for his first hit of the afternoon, and the Cougars have a one-out base runner.
Yeah, pretty swing by Preston Clifford. I think a little frustrated from his earlier bats not being able to execute the situational hitting that we've been talking him up about, but pretty piece of hitting, line drive single, or hard hit single back up the middle with one out in the seventh for the Cougs. Top of the order coming up.
That's what Coach was talking about this week, Coach Brian Green in his presser. If they can turn it around for the top of the order, good things can happen. Certainly so with Cody Colden, who had an RBI single his last time up in the fifth.
Cody Colden, another good hitter, solid, can do a number of things. Can he drop the bunt down? But big hole on the right side.
Shows bunt and fouls it off the screen.
And now he's in a 2-0 count, or 0-2 count, excuse me. But got a battle here. But big hole on the right side. I think Cody shooting the other way and see if Clifford can race around to third. But big at bat here with Manzardo looming on deck.
And Butts O'Brien having to hold the runner on at first base, leaving the hole on the right side. Ball and 2 strikes to Colden on a pitch that missed up and away. Manzardo had the home run back in the third. That put the Cougars ahead 2-1. WSU tacked on runs in the 5th and 6th innings to make it 4-1. 10 hits now as a team. And a pop-up. This is going to stay on the infield. Shortstop calling for it, Antonson, and makes the catch for out number 2. That's a big out before you face Kyle Manzardo, and at least keep a runner at first. This will be a test here for Peter Kronkowski.
A test for both teams, or both hitters, or for pitcher Kronkowski and the hitter Manzardo. Here's probably the best lefty out of Seattle U's pen, or one of their top lefties against left-handed hitting Manzardo. And he's probably going to see a lot of them come Pac-12 play.
Well, the nice thing we mentioned with Manzardo is he's done a nice job of hitting balls the other way, so he's not afraid to go that direction, and certainly will have to adjust with left-handed pitching. They're going to want to take him outside a lot. Ground ball at second, rolled it over to Lively, makes the play for out number 3, and that's 7 innings gone in Pullman. A single for the Cougars in the frame, but other than that, Peter Kronkowski, a nice 7th inning as it's 4-1 Washington State heading to the 8th.
Yeah, we were talking during the break. Yeah, big inning, 94 pitches for Zane Mills, but a warmer night, definitely on the Palouse than we're used to, and Zane's coming off a couple longer outings, so this is the plan to stretch him out, but a leadoff single may bring a visit from pitching coach Anthony Claggett.
And I might change plans a bit. That breaks up the 13 consecutive sent down by Zane Mills on the single for Kyle Sherrick, his second hit of the ballgame. Zane takes a peek at the Cougar dugout, but everyone's going to stay tucked in there. So they'll let him work. Back to the top of the order, Gavin Rourke. Good hitter for the Redhawks, who's been quiet today. And lines one at first. Manzardo the catch and takes it to first for the double play. Unassisted, nice play for Manzardo off the first base bag.
Let your defense do the work. Kind of got a break there, but again, challenging hitters. First pitch strike are in the zone, and Rourke hits the ball right to Manzardo, makes a nice play, big double play. Rely on your defense, and again, attacking hitters and working down the zone. Nice play by Manzardo, big 2 outs.
And 2 pitches, 2 outs. Here's Connor O'Brien, and he takes strike 1. So this could easily become an 8-inning outing for Zane Mills now. You get those breaks every once in a while on the mound, a ball hit to the right spot, and defender right there to clean it up. Zane did have a game against Rutgers last year when he went 7 2/3. 2 balls and a strike to Connor O'Brien. But looking for his longest outing here in the last 2 seasons. We'll have to pull career numbers for him to see if it's a high. 2-2 now the count. Junior has a chance to continue to give the Cougars a great start to the series. 7 punch-outs. Trying to cap an 8th inning. It'll be on a line drive to right field, but able to get a beat on it, make the catch as Montez. Good recovery after the leadoff single. A double play on the liner to first, and a line out. Takes the Cougars the home half of the 8th, a 4-1 lead here on Pac-12+. 4-1 Cougars, bottom half of the 8th inning. And what an outing for Zane Mills. 8 innings of 1-run baseball. And that's a career high now for Zane Mills. Told you 7 2/3 for him a season ago against Rutgers. But Tristan Peterson, Colin Montez, Justin Vandenbrink for the Cougars. It'll remain Peter Kronkowski on the hill for the Red Hawks, and no reason why not. He's surrendered a run since coming into the ballgame. Has done a nice job. The 1-0 pitch finds its way in to even the count up. But a really nice outing for Zane Mills. Proved the Cougar coaching staff right for leaving him out there. A 6-pitch inning took him right to 100 pitches. Ball and 2 strikes now to Peterson as he trying to golf at that breaking ball.
Yeah, we mentioned it a little bit before, but pitching coach Anthony Claggett was with Coach Green at New Mexico State when they won the WAC and advanced the NCAA Regional. But young pitching coach, had some big league experience with the New York Yankees and Pittsburgh Pirates. Wants to build arm strength in these guys. You want to win the Pac-12, you got to have a Friday and Saturday guy work into the 6, 7, 8 innings. And now as you do it, you build arm strength here in game situations. And do you want to be a guy or not? And Zane Mills has answered that call here in the first 3 weeks of 2021.
Strikeout for the left-hander Kronkowski. Nice breaking ball to get Peterson. And tough guy to put down. Redhawks have gotten him twice in this ball game. But Bobby, you're exactly right. Just the flexibility that comes with having a big bullpen by late in Game 2, Game 3, that changes your weekend phenomenally as a team.
Yeah, on a Friday night, that's kind of what the Cougs have been looking for these last couple of years. Who's your Friday night guy to eat up the innings so your bullpen can be ready to go for Saturday and Sunday later in the series? And I think the Cougs have found one in Zane Mills.
Colin Montez has a nice night going for WSU. Pair of singles, one for an RBI in the first and scored in the 6th. Just to get some one-out hitting here in the bottom of the 8th. But both these teams have done a good job of limiting the taxation on the pens. Peter Kronkowski, the only reliever needed so far for the Red Hawks. It'll set us up for a good series, and Seattle U pitching staff, as advertised, has done a nice job with a Cougar offense, remember, that came in scoring a ton of runs.
Right, you knew the Seattle Redhawks could pitch after going down to Eugene and splitting a 4-game series against a Pac-12 team, against some quality Pac-12 hitters and the Ducks. Impressive opening night for the Redhawks. Win or lose, I'm sure that, of course they want to win, but good approach against these Cougar hitters.
Yeah, there's some things to take away from this. That's a tough play and a chopper for a single for Colin Montez. The shift was on a bit into shallow right field, and Montez hit it to the perfect spot on the infield to dig it out for a single, his 3rd hit of the game.
Yeah, what kind of got lost last week in Cody Colton's big weekend and Kyle Manzardo's homers and, even Zane Mills and Brendan White's dominance on the mound, Colin Montez got hot. He had a multiple home run game on Friday night and hit another home run on Sunday, so he hit 3 home runs. But a lot of stuff was back up the middle. A lot of his hits are back up the middle, and look where he's been at tonight.
And there have been some infield hits in this ball game on defensive positioning, but both defenses have played really well. No errors, clean game. Ball, no strikes to Justin Vandenbrink. On another good stop by the backstop, Justin Mazzone. He's been impressive as well. Kronkowski would love a double play ball to try to give his offense fighting chance in the top of the 9th. Settled for a fly ball instead to shallow right, and it's going to fall in between Boysonaut and Lively. It looked like the right fielder, Boysonaut, was calling for it late, but they lost a beat on that and some miscommunication in right field.
I'll disagree with you a little bit. I think he might have lost it. I think it was kind of both arms up, kind of like I'm running towards it. Oh, I lost it. Oh, I see it. Now I lost it again. That's what why else would you run with both arms wide open? But tough break for the Redhawks.
Yeah, I can see that there. That's Lively trying to make a play at the end of that one. But it falls for the Cougars. A base knock, first and second, one out. A nice off-speed pitch to start off Meyer, 0-1. Had the double in the second. Looking for a hit here to grab some insurance for the Cougars. Now outside to split the count to Meyer.
Just some of these big at-bats. Kronkowski just made it through the heart of the order, but now, first and second, and here's Jake Meyer and Jack Smith, looking to do some damage. Who's in the bottom of the order going to step up for the Cougars?
Jake does have the 8 runs driven in so far this season. We'll see Kronkowski check on second. Those 8 runs driven in on 5 hits. He's walked 4 times as well. That on base percentage up there, but trying to grab the average and skyrocket it now. And a good opportunity. Pitch bounces. No, it's off the bat, on the check swing. Couldn't tell if that caught the bat or if it just bounced on his own, but it was fouled off, a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, a lot of sounds there. Was it a piece of the bat? Was it the catcher's glove? Was it catcher's shin guard? Was it an umpire's shin guard?
The least socially distant part of the baseball game. Those 3 guys right there at the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Big pitch coming for Kronkowski. And gets a strikeout. Caught him on the outside edge. 2 punch-outs in the inning, and Kronkowski's going to feel like he has to earn an extra out now after that ball that dropped in right field, but that's a big pitch.
Yeah, nice execution by Kronkowski, a little two-seamer. He's been very working very well in the outside half. Down and away, perfect pitch. Not much Meyer can do, and big second out for Kronkowski. Nice pitch.
So here's Jack Smith coming off back-to-back hits in his last 2 at-bats. 1 for a double. Came around to score and an RBI single in the 6th. Big part of this Cougar lead in the 8th inning. That was after fighting off a couple pitches and a strikeout back in the 2nd. He's had a nice night at the plate. Kronkowski's had to do a lot of his work with the breaking ball out of the bullpen, and it's been pretty effective. The 1 run surrendered. But he's changed those eyes for the Cougar bats.
Nice pitch. He's been working away. Most of Meyer's at bats, and then the first couple pitches of Jack Smith, and then beautiful fastball on the inside half and kind of locked Jack Smith up. But big 2-strike pitch coming right here.
Let's see if Kronkowski's got 3 strikeouts in the inning around 2 Cougar singles. Southpaw's pitch. Weak dribbler at short. No, it's fouled off the plate. That was weak because it hit the foot of Smith.
Yeah, Jack's done that a couple times in the early part of this year. He's did that in one of the January scrimmages that he's kind of still battling that some tendonitis in the knee after fouling a ball off. But maybe the cold doesn't help either.
Yeah, you mentioned that after the RBI single, and some guys can't catch a break in those spots. Then one that dives over the top of the shoes, but missed him. I'll tell you what else makes it feel a little bit better is a couple hits and an RBI. That'll take some of the pain away.
Right.
Jack's got just that tonight. trying to add some insurance, although the Cougar pitching has been phenomenal in game one. Through the right side, you bet. Third hit. Here comes a fifth run for Washington State. Around third, Montez, he scores. Second RBI for Smith, and a spiked throw into the Cougar dugout is going to bring home another. We mentioned how good the defense had been, but a spiked relay throw is also going to score Justin Vanderbreak, and the Cougars open it up 6-1.
That's 3 hits for Jack Smith today, all 3 to the right side. 2 strikes, beautiful stay on that pitch in the outer half. Battled a couple inside pitches earlier in that bat, stayed on it, line drive to right. Montez scores easily from second base, the former All-State running back, no question there. but also the pressure by Vanderbreak going first to third forces an errant throw, adds another run.
5-run Cougar lead, a man at third. Now is Jack Smith advancing on the throw and then the air. 0-1 the count to Brady Hill. A walk, a sacrifice, and then was put out on, he was kind of a swinging bunt last inning. Bullpen was already probably itching to get out in the ninth. You bet in the Cougar dugout right now there's a case being made by Zane Mills to try to cap off a complete game, but things will feel a lot better now with a 5-run lead. And that'll be the question going into the ninth. There could be a pitch already ready in the bullpen for the Cougars. There's no more throwing going on down there, but Zane Mills right at 100 pitches. Hill able to stay disciplined to get the count even at 2. Cougars have chipped away at it 6-1. 13 hits in the first Red Hawk era, resulting in that last run. Strikeout, though, for Kronkowski to come back, and the fly ball that fell in right field comes back to bite for Seattle U. 6-1, and we will see the Cougar bullpen when we come back in the ninth to try to shut this one down. Washington State leading Seattle U night 1 of this series on Pac-12+. Senior left-hander Michael Nostrum to try to put it away for the Cougs in the ninth. Might have had visions of a save opportunity, but that went by the wayside after 2 more Cougar runs in the 8th. He'll take it, though, 6-1 Washington State as the Southpaw comes in for another appearance, already his 6th on the season. He's had 2 winning decisions, a couple nice outings at Dixie State, inning and 2/3, and gotten out at the end of the series as well to cap it. The breaking ball misses, starting off Justin Mazzone, ball, no strikes. So to tidy it up for Zane Mills, great outing, career best 8 innings, gave up just 6 hits, a run that was earned, and struck out 7 batters while issuing no walks. You'll take that every day of the week, especially on Friday. And 1-1 to Justin Mazzone.
Yeah, on the Zane Mills 8 innings, that's the first 8-inning outing by a starter since last year. A.J. Block, one of our favorite Cougar personalities. A.J. signed a free agent deal with the Kansas City Royals this past season, and wish all the best to A.J. But A.J. went 8 innings, struck out 10 at Hawaii when the Cougs split that 4-game series at Hawaii last year, but missing the big left-hander now. But shout out to A.J. Block, another Cougar alum in pro ball.
Newstrom looking for a K to start off his relief appearance. Got it on the breaking ball. 1 gone, and the Cougars have only allowed 1 base runner since the 3rd inning. Bulk of that is thanks to Zane Mills, along with some great defense by Kyle Manzardo on a line double play in the 8th. But it's been 16 of the last 17 batters retired, and Julian Kodema, the third baseman, stands in now with 1 out. That was on Newstrom's 6th strikeout of the season. Mentioned 2-0, now 3 2/3 innings after that out, and has only allowed a single hit.
Yeah, Coug fans are already familiar with Michael Nostrum, the senior left-hander. Made a lot of appearances in many roles for the Cougs, but They're also familiar with him this year. Leads the league, comes into this weekend leading the Pac-12 in appearances, and I think we're going to see the left-hander a lot in 2021.
Julian Kodema works a single off of him for his third hit of the ball game. Nice game for the Red Hawk third baseman. 3 singles, 1 for an RBI, and he'll bring up Matt Boysenald, who's looking to turn it around at the plate, an 0 for 3 day so far. 7 hits for the Red Hawks, but just 1 run to show for it, and none of the 7 hits have gone for extra bases. There's strike 1 to Boysenald. But that's what the Cougars wanted to do. They took care of the zone. Zane Mills, no walks. Very economical. Limit the extra base hits. That's the formula to get some wins. 0-2 as it's blown past Boysenald. Nostrum started the inning with a K. The student section that lives for those strikeouts, trying to collect its 9th of the night. The 0-2. Sliding stop by Meyer. A reminder, this is the first of a 3-game set. Coming up tomorrow, Nestor Herman for Seattle U against Brandon White for Washington State. Be a 2:05 start as we check on first. And diving back in is Kodema. 2:05 tomorrow, 12:05 Sunday, the planned schedule. Nostrum takes his long look in again. Here comes his 1-2. And it's fouled off to extend the at-bat. Both these teams settling in for the Northwest Regional rivalries. This 3-game set for the Cougars and Red Hawks, and then they'll both play each other again along with Washington for their next 4 ball games. Just missing the corner. 2-2 to Boysenald now. Those games will be over at Husky Ballpark in a week's time. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with Friday double headers between UW, Seattle U, and WSU. 2-2 pitch. Popped up, staying on the infield. Clifford's behind second. Colden calling for it, and it got behind him. It's dropped. Throw will go to second. That will be out number 2. So the Cougars get one anyways, but replacing runners at first, Kodema and Boysenald, and we'll have a change at the plate as well. But that's some wind taking that ball behind second. It looks like blowing it around on Colden and Clifford, and unfortunately fell. Be a fielder's choice. We've got the new batter for the Red Hawks. That's Morgan White. So White for Austin Lively in the 9th. First pitch blocked by Meyer. So late pinch hitter in this 6-1 ball game. Lively was 0 for 3 to this point. Ball gets to the left of Meyer, but he's going to keep the runner close over at first. So Michael Nostrum trying to shut the door for Zane Mills. His 8-inning, 6-hit outing. She gave up just a run. Would be in line for his 3rd win of the season. Another check on first. Zane Mills will love that. That would be over an average of 7 innings a ball game for the first 3. and a chance to go win-win-win to start 2021. Two-0. Left side of the infield could be it for the Cougars. Third baseman Smith up with it and across the diamond to cap a Game 1 winner for Washington State. 6-1, Cougars get it done in Pullman tonight to open this 3-game set with Seattle U. And it looks like we're going to have a nice 3-game series if it's played like it was tonight. Both teams pitched well. The Cougars had the upper hand, though, in extra base hits and cashing in some key moments. And Kyle Manzardo, a big fly to extend his hitting streak, second best in Cougar history, to 26 games. Zane Mills, the highlight, 8 innings of 6-hit, 1-run baseball, and he picks up win number 3 on the season for Washington State. We talked about it in the inning as well, but we'll go forward with a 2:05 start tomorrow for the Cougars and the Redhawks, followed by a series capper at 12:05 on Sunday. Nestor Herman tomorrow, the freshman for Seattle U, up against Washington State's junior right-hander Brandon White. And we'll see Morgan White, Will Sierra on Sunday for the Redhawks and the Cougars. That does it for night 1. 6-1 Cougars win for Bobby Allworth and the rest of our Pac-12 Plus crew. This is Trevor Williams saying good night from Pullman.